Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone attending this forum. Today, we have 3 experienced panels working in different fields with us that would like to discuss and share their experience about the rise of LGBT in Malaysia. As we know, these days, we have seen a lot of LGBT people on social media exposing themselves and being free about it. First we have Ustazah Shakira from SMK Duyarmito, and we have Miss Amira Salmi from a teacher from SMK Bukit Jalil. And lastly, we have Dr. Ain from University Malaysia Medical Center. She is right now working as a psychiatrist. Okay, so I would like to start with Ustazah Shakira. What is the definition of LGBT and what is the view of LGBT in religion, or specifically in Islam?
In Islam commands that marriage between the opposite sex is the most effective means in which one can lead a virtuous life free from immorality and sexual inhibition and emotional inhibition. It is a means of safeguarding one from committing sinful act due to lust and desires. God's creation is generally in pairs, which a complete phenomenon whereby it generally divided into two complementary parts. The issue of lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender LGBT has its origin in the narration of the scriptures in that is the Quran. Although the account of these holy books talk specifically about the sexual relationship between men, the moral of the stories in the holy book is that sexual activities that involve the same sex is unnatural and prohibited by God. So the issue that present in the nation and has become of public concern, with some people openly campaigning campaigning for their rights to practice it and engage in this relationship. Which the LGBT believing that as long as it is consensual between the two adults, it is part of their fundamental rights to practice it. Thus, the question is, what is the cause of this practice, and where does they get the encouragement to do the openly campaign? So, what we have to look at the changes going on in the world generally in terms of the fight and clamor for human rights and the encouragement of modern Western liberal ideology on many nations of the world, including Malaysia. The spirit of liberalism, which is an ideology that develops during the Enlightenment, which preaches the liberty and equality among the mankind and advocate freedom for mankind to use the reason to live the way they fit.
Thank you for your explanation. So, audience, we know that in Islam, LGBT is prohibited and it should not be practiced. But however, with the rise of campaigns and people voicing out their opinion, it has become a problem for us in Malaysia. So, what is the general prohibition of this issue according to the Sharia law?
As noted in the context of marriage, Islam takes a positive view of sexuality, which the sexual pleasure between the spouses or partner is an integral part of the marriage. Even more importantly, sexual intercourse as the consummation of marriage is a condition of its validity. Outside of a lawful marriage, as prescribed by the Sharia, no other form of sexual activity is permissible. Unlawful sexual intercourse is identified as zina, which is a major offense.
Thank you, Ustazah Shakira. So, Dr. Ain, working in the psychiatry field, based on your experience and studies, what is your opinion about mental health of the LGBTQ people? And is it true that the LGBT people tend to have mental illness? And if so, why?
LGBTQ people in Malaysia are at the high risk of suffering from mental health disorder. Based on the theory of minority stress theory, um, based on the theory of minority stress by Mayer, unsupportive social climate and rejection expose LGBTQ people to excess stress, which causes negative health outcomes. It showed that they had a huge difference between mental health LGBTQ people and normal LGBTQ people. This theory concluded that LGBTQ people with mental health 2.5 times more likely to have a history of mental health disorder regardless of their family backgrounds, such as depression, suicide, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, especially among youth. These impacts are found to be strongly linked with prejudice and discrimination against them.
Oh, so what you are trying to say is that the LGBT itself is not a mental illness, but the way they are being treated and violated cause them to have mental illness.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ain. So, you said just now that we are using Sharia law to um, decide what are to be done to the LGBTQ people when they commit crimes. So, I would like to know that where did the sources of the law come from?
We, as a Muslim country, the law on punishment of any committed crime includes the crime of LGBT, must firstly be located in the Quran, and in the absence of any provision in the Quran, the Sunnah becomes the next dependent primary source of the law. Priority should be given to the source of Islamic law accordingly until the law is acquired.
Oh, so we are referring to Al-Quran for the law. Okay, thank you, Ustazah Shakira, for your explanation. Now, Dr. Ain, I would like to refer back to you. Do LGBTQ people in Malaysia have problem accessing the mental health treatment? And if so, why is it like that? Can you give us explanation?
Okay. Yes, they actually face a different challenge in accessing mental health services, as it may not focus on their unique needs or facilitate their experience. One of their challenge is many mental health professionals does not have basic knowledge on sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, and sexual characteristic. This is important because they have a unique and specific mental health needs because of the challenge that they face. Uh, the professionals cannot provide the best treatment of therapy for them if they still lack about the basic knowledge and unaware of their needs. For clients, it gives impact for them as a result, they have a trust issues or confidence with their own therapists. Besides, they also face negative perception, attitudes, and behavior among healthcare professionals. I believe that this will give impact for them on their mental health services, as we know that they play crucial roles that ensure the patients get the best service from them.
Thank you, Dr. Ain. So moving on, we would like to know since LGBT people tend to have mental illness, so we would like to ask Miss Amira, a teacher from SMK Bukit Jalil, about her perception. So, as a teacher, how do you handle um, what would you propose ni on how to handle LGBT students that feel like they are oppressed and bullied so that they feel safe and accepted at school?
Okay. Based on 2013 the National School Climate Survey report, more than 74% of LGBTQ students were verbally harassed and 36% physically harassed due to their sexual orientation. For that, as a teacher, I must feel the LGBTQ student to feel secure at school and their potential understand discrimination of any sort will not be tolerated. Example, responding to the harassment of LGBTQ students, we as a teacher should know about bullying must always be taken seriously. If we know the student being bullied or harassment, take action immediately. Target the student need to know those around them will interfere and bully must know their action would not be tolerated. It must inform school leader or their parent of all report of harassment so they can monitor the situation and respond appropriately. Next, keep in touch to them. Always motivate and advise them. School service also could help like counseling or therapy. Other than that, there are various ways you can support them by listening to them. It may experience a variety of emotion like confused, surprise, or sadness during finding about the student. But we must try try to not interrupt when talking to them and remain open to them what are they saying and take them at their words and do not dismiss the action hesitation.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Amira. I understand what you're trying to say, that we have to listen and be completely open with them because, as we know, teenagers are the most fragile at that state, and most of them find out about themselves being gay or lesbian at that age, right? So I would like to go back to Dr. Ain and ask on why are some people um, become homosexual and bisexual?
um, the sexual orientation, which is bisexuality and homosexuality, actually caused by many factors such as environmental, emotional, hormonal, and biological factor. However, the factor may be different for different peoples, and the scientists also have no exact answer regarding on how people can be have a particular sexual orientation, such as heterosexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian orientation.
So we do not have any exact factor on why they are becoming the way becoming homosexual or bisexual. Okay. So I would like to go back to Miss Amira. As we know, nowadays on social media, teenagers and young adults often express themselves freely and expose themselves as being gay or lesbian. So, Miss Amira, is it the same at school? Do the kids expose themselves that way too?
Okay. As a teacher educator, I work closely with service teacher and also with in-service teacher working in public school. All of these decade industrial work state that they want students to feel comfortable and safe in school environment. Most teachers believe that school are for everyone. All students take the opportunity to learn. We want all students to have a caring and respectful relationship with other students and with other staff members. However, not all students are having the experience like teacher imagine for them, especially for students who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender LGBT was reported feeling less safe, less respected, less valued in school than do their heterosexual and cisgender peers, leading to lower engagement and achievement. As a teacher, we must to play an important role in supporting and educate for LGBT students, ensuring them for able to learn, explore in safe classroom space, and provide tips and tools for being an ally to LGBTQ students.
Thank you so much, Ms. Amira, for your explanation, and I really appreciate the way she tries to make the LGBT students feel accepted as best as she could. So, I would like to go back to Ustazah Shakira and ask, what is the effect of LGBTQ people for the so far for the nation? Does it cause any political or social issues to us?
The effect of LGBT on the nation is proliferation, which is increase of the LGBT activities and the conversion of many unsuspecting teenagers to this sexual orientation. In Malaysia, there are now clubs and organizations that represent and protect the rights of the LGBT community, and has resulted in a situation in which schools and public spaces are daily being invaded by the LGBT.
So it is called the rise of LGBT is causing problems to our nation. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ustazah Shakira. So I'd like to refer back to Miss Amira. Since we know that LGBT is a problem to our nation, the students that are in the community might feel like they don't belong in our nation. So in dealing with LGBT students, what are the major issues that you often face in school?
When we face to LGBT students, this process can be especially stressful or tough for students who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. In fact, they can face a unique issue when it's come for mental health. This discrimination LGBT students may face or the pressure that can feel for their family or community can put them a greater risk for emotional risk struggle like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and even suicide. If you know or someone struggling with issue related to sexuality or pressure of not being accepted by family or friend or community, try to speak out by develop strong copy skill, creating a positive social and helping if needed. LGBT students can protect their emotional during college or beyond. LGBT individuals who are dealing with mental health conditions like depression may have to contact with even more stigma because of discrimination or misunderstanding related to sexual orientation. Having to deal with the additional stigma can worsen the mental health condition. So it's better to us to get educated, learn more about the mental illness and concern the LGBT individual might have. This helps us to get better understand what someone is going through and know how to help them. Avoid to judge them and try to put yourself in their shoes.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Amira. I think what you said is right because, like you mentioned before, high school students are very fragile, but however they can support themselves starting from college and beyond. This is probably because of the community that they can join and the freedom that they have. So thank you so much everyone for your opinion and your knowledge sharing. Um, it is now clear that in every aspect, LGBT people, more often than not, are discriminated and violated. And I think Malaysia is not yet ready to embrace the equality. Perhaps after a few years, we would see some positive changes and they would feel more accepted as being themselves in their own country. Thank you, panels, for joining us today. Thank you.